Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look at the Roll and Write game, Rolling Realms, published by Stonemaier Games. Now, this game will play 1 to 6 players. It has a solo mode. As a caveat, though, this could play more than 6 players. This will play 6 players per box. So if you get more boxes of this, you get that many more players. So if you're looking for a super high count game you can play, this is actually one of them. Now, Rolling Realms is basically going to be based off of all the other Stonemaier games in their collection. They're going to have a card for each of the games that they have published, which is really cool. And all of them are going to have like different rules for them. It sort of gives you like the feel of the game or the idea of the game. So let's go ahead down to the table here. I'll give you a general overview of how the game plays, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is what a typical setup of Rolling Realms might look like. Now, a couple things to mention is the game comes with a really nice solitaire mini golf style game that goes over 18 holes. And these 18 holes present different challenges on there. You get this nice, again, I love Stonemaier Games rule books. They all have that nice linen finish with it. And that's a little simple thing, but it's really nice. And you'll get a nice mini golf course log that you can go through and score, and you can do it easy, medium, and hard. And it has a little map of the mini golf area, and you get these hole cards. So they basically tell you the realms you're going to be doing and what you're going to be doing. So that's the solo components. We're not really going to go over there. I just wanted to show you because they're really, really nice. Now, in the regular game of Rolling Realms, in the box, you're going to get enough content here to play for 6 players, but there actually is no limit. You can either go to their site and print out more sheets for each of these guys, or you can purchase more of these Rolling Realms boxes, and you can do like 12, 18, or more, it doesn't matter. And this is really nice quality, by the way. So that's how that functions, because all turns are going to be simultaneous in the game. You get these 2 big chunky dice, and it doesn't matter who rolls them. We're going to go over that in a second, but basically each player is going to start out with their Rolling Realms deck. They're going to get a score sheet. They're going to get a helpful guide here that's going to show them what each of the resources they get can do. We'll get these out of the way. And what you're going to do to start is one player is going to randomly get 3 realms. So they'll shuffle this up and they'll randomly put out 3 realms. And you can put your deck aside for a second. These 3 realms, every other player is also going to pull them out. And these are going to be the 3 realms that you're going to play with in the game. And what's going to happen is one player is going to roll these dice, and all other players are going to use the dice. You're going to take that dice number and you're going to mark it on your board from left to right, top to bottom. So it'll be a 2 and a 5. Now, throughout the game, you're going to be using these numbers, which I'll show you what they do in a second. And you're going to get 9 rolls per round. Once the 9 rolls are done, the round ends. The game is going to go through and do 3 rounds of play with this. At the end of every round, you're going to score up. Now, you're going to get points for however many stars you have, and you're going to get a 0.1, so a fraction of a point, a tenth of a point, for every resource you have at the end of the round. And you'll put that number here. At the end of the 4th round, or at the end of the 3rd round, sorry, and then the 3rd round, the person with the highest points wins. Now, what do you do with these numbers we just put out? Well, you're going to, each one of these realms has different rules for them. And you're going to pick one of these dice and go left to right to make it simple. And you're going to mark it off on one of the realms. The second die you have to mark off on a different realm. So you're going to take a look at these different realms and you're going to read what they do. So Viticulture, and I always recommend, like, especially your first time playing, once you get your 3 realms out, read to everyone what they do. I'm not going to go over all the different realms. There's a bunch of them. And I would assume with new Stonemaier games coming out, they'll probably have eventually have an expansion for this where you can get the other realms for the new games, because these realms are actually all games that Stonemaier Games has published, and they sort of give the feel of what that game is. So let's go ahead and look over some of these. Okay, so this Viticulture one here, let's see if you can see that. Okay, this Viticulture one here, you either going to gain a grape, outline it, and a resource, or you're going to sum up. You're going to get the sum of 1 die and the value at least 1 gained grape, and cross off a marked white order. So what you're going to do here is, I have the 2, so I can say, hey, I want to go ahead on my scoreboard, and I'm going to mark this off too. This 2 here will give me a coin. Well, what does a coin do? I will also, so it gives me a coin. So I will also get a coin down here, and what I can do here is I can circle the coins. I'll go over what resources do in a second. Then I would take the 5, and I would have to go over and do a different one on here. So here I get to score. So here's important too. So on this realm here, I wanted to point out is each realm have different rules for scoring your stars. This realm here, when I cross off a white order, I get 2 stars. And then when I mark off 2 stars, again, those are the points. So I actually want to try to push to get those for Viticulture. Pendulum, when either outline an octagon with any number on it, do not gain an instant benefit, or mark a specific number on the hourglass. So I can just mark off any octagon, or I can mark off one on the hourglass. Gain all the contents of the outlined octagons when you complete an hourglass. So I could say, well, for my 5, I just want to circle this, and later on I can get this, and then I gain those contents. And here, for getting points, when completing an hourglass, you score a star for each outlined octagon with a star in it. So these are the star, this is the star. So with this one, you might not get all 6. You don't always, if you focus on one, you could probably do it pretty frequently, but a lot of times you'll get like 2 or 3 stars on some of them. But anyway, once everyone has used their dice, you're going to re-roll and do another round. You'll mark them in here, and you'll continue until the 9th roll is done. And at the end of the 9th roll, you'll score for that, all your realms. So you get all your scores here, you'll put it here, you'll erase this top portion, and you'll start another round, and you do that 3 times. Now, one thing we didn't go over real quick is these resources. These resources, after you circle them, you can cross them out to get benefit. For a pumpkin, if you have cross out 2 pumpkins, because you have 2 pumpkins available, you can adjust any die plus or minus 1. The 3 pumpkins, you can adjust your die plus or minus 1 or 0, and you may use it in a realm you've already used this turn. So not only do you don't have to adjust it, but not only can you adjust it, but you could use that die again in Viticulture, for example, instead of having to place it in another realm, which is really, really cool. The hearts, if you rolled dice as a pair and you spend 2 your hearts, you get another die of that value. No other player gets this. It's just an imaginary die for you that you get to spend that turn. 3, gain a die of the same value of either die rolled. So if you spend 3 of them, they don't have to be pairs. You can just do whatever. Coins, you cross out however many coins you can cross off, you will gain a die equal to that number, just for you. That's this bottom one. The top one here, if the sum of the die rolled is 7, and you cross off 2 of these, you'll gain a die of the same value as whichever one of the 2 you want to pick. So that's it for the resources and how they function. And that's it. That's basically how you're going to play Rolling Realms. Let's go ahead back up to the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts on this game. Okay, so I really like this. This is a very, very good game. It's really fun roll and write. It's one of my favorite ones. I like all the variety that you get in each of the realms. I hope that when they publish more games out through Stonemaier Games, that they might come out with an expansion for this to include the new games in there, or the new games they publish comes with cards for Rolling Realms. That'd be cool too. Now, component quality is amazing. It's Stonemaier Games. I haven't had a game from Stonemaier Games where the component quality hasn't been crazy. This is really good component quality. The markers are great. I like how he sends with the little felt pads to wipe it off. Just very thoughtful. I like the fact that these aren't scoring sheets and they're dry erase boards instead, that are cards that you get to use repeatedly. Just a lot of thought went into longevity of this game and quality of this game. So I really, really appreciate that. Coupled with the fun gameplay with this. So if you like roll and writes, this is definitely a roll write you want to check out. I also like the fact that this could have a huge player count. So at conventions and stuff, I can have like 3 or 4 copies of this and we could all play it as a big group. So that's pretty fun. So you can tell I already recommend this game, especially if you're looking for a new roll and write to try out, or you like roll and write games. So that's my thought on Rolling Realms. Thank you for watching.